Hello, everyone. What is going on? My name is Timpedia, and welcome back to the TNT Podcast, episode 159. Today is the day of the 2023 preview episode. Oh, boy.
Let's go.
We have the OG crew with us today. On my right.
Friedman, also known as Andrew, mostly known as Friedman.
And to my left.
Only Tyler.
Are you starting an Only Tyler account?
Oh,
Maybe.
God.
People are going to have to, find at Bubba to find out for some top quality feed pics,
Well,
Anyway.
podcast canceled, so.
Yeah, because I don't need y'all anymore. I'm making real money.
I'm on the rocket ship. I don't need
doing
you
this
anymore.
Only Tyler.
We got a couple news things today, not ton, and a little bit of stuff about what we finished from last week because, the anime season ended right between episodes. But a lot of it today is going to be what's coming up this year. But to start us off, Friedman.
Oh, let's talk about Final Fantasy 16, which it'll come up later in the games coming up this year. But for everyone out of the loop, Final Fantasy 16 is coming out for PS5. I think it's like July-ish, like middle of the year. When the first trailer came out, at the end of the trailer it said coming to PS5 and later for other consoles, and it included PC on that original listing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, earlier this week, the director of Final Fantasy 16 was in an interview, and he said, I'm not entirely sure why people are under the impression that there's going to be a PC port. This was never announced, despite the fact that it's in the first trailer. So this is a soft confirmation that the director knows that they're not doing a PC port, or is just not thinking about them doing it at a later time. But it sounds a little messy here, especially considering the director is Yoshi P, the guy who's doing, or is still the director of Final Fantasy 14, their, PC ported PlayStation MMO. So you think the director would have a better idea about this? Some people think he's talking tongue-in-cheek because they're not talking about the other console releases until after the PS5 version launches. Because later on in the interview, after talking about the PC bit, he's like, everyone should seriously consider going out and buying a PS5. So he might be doing tongue-in-cheek and it just doesn't come across correctly in a text interview. Or Square Enix is just fucking losing their minds again. Could be, given their NFT announcement earlier this week, but I straight up don't want to talk about it, so I'm not going to talk about it.
You sound upset.
They're just not learning their lesson. Like, after all the negative feedback, like it's honestly, they are so big on the sunk cost fallacy. They're like, well, we already started all these NFT games back when NFTs were hot.
Oh boy, NFTs.
We gotta release them anyway. We spent too much money on this. Is their mentality about it, despite the fact that just nobody wants this.
Yeah, let them fucking learn.
They're about to.
Like
Will
every
they?
other
They're still doing the fuck around part. They're about.
Will
to
they? Because I feel like anybody who's still on the NFT train should have learned and just deserves whatever comes to them.
Yes.
Look,
Listeners, what do you think about NFT? Lay it on the train for this one, but I'm genuinely curious.
Oh, God.
And if you are pro NFT, tell me, how much is your Bored Ape currently worth?
Yeah. I'm also curious.
Freeman,
about that.
it's not about current value. It's about investing in your future.
It's about speculation on. God.
It's about being part of a new trend and setting a new generational standard.
All right, let me talk about more Japanese developers doing dumb shit here. So, big rumor on the street is that Persona 3 is getting a full-on remake.
Oh,
I'm
good.
not talking about the Persona 3 portable, air quotes, remaster. It's coming out later this year at the same time that Persona 4 Golden is coming out to most consoles. By the way, both 3 and 4 are coming to Game Pass, so any of you Game Passes out there, go play Persona.
I still subscribe, but I really shouldn't.
Look, man, Persona 4 Golden is pretty golden. But the thing that infuriates me about this Persona 3 remake rumor is it would have been really fucking nice to announce this during the Persona 25th anniversary when nothing else got announced. So, if it's real, I'm going to be mad. If it's not real, I'm also going to be mad. This is a lose-lose situation for me. I can't be happy.
Lose.
Except that they literally just took Persona 3 and redid it in the Persona 5 engine with that style. Like, I would shit my pants. Persona 3 is such a cool game that's bogged down by being the first modern Persona game. So I would play that shit day one. That would make me happy. But hearing about it would make me furious. But speaking of shit that makes a lot of people on the internet furious, Tim, why don't you lead us into the next topic?
Yeah, this is kind of hot off the presses ish today. Not really. So every year, right around now, League puts out a bunch of videos kind of detailing their plans for the coming year, as well as usually a cinematic to kick off the season of ranked play. I don't play ranked anymore. I haven't for a couple years, ever since Henry was born. But at the very least, I still love the cinematics. Like, you guys have probably at least seen 1 or 2 League cinematics over the year. They're usually really impressive.
Oh, yeah, I love the ones they do for
Worlds.
Worlds, yeah.
Yeah, those are usually really fun. Even though, funny enough, last year's was also kind of disappointing. That little Nas X one was kind of whatever.
It's almost a tradition of just thinking, damn, this is not as good as last year's. I'm thinking this every year as you get excited.
That's fair, but I don't. So last year, to kick off the season, they had a cinematic called The Call, and it's literally just a bunch of, like, all it is just champions. There's no character, there's no human, there's no like real people like there are for the Worlds ones. This is just the characters of League doing cool League things, and that one was really, really good. And this year they came out with a couple videos talking about what the roadmap ahead looks like. League is finally getting the ability to select your language, which is good. So, like, your voiceovers and everything are going to be selectable later this year. A update to one of the oldest champions in the game, Skarner, that was announced a year and a half ago. They still only have concept art to show, so that's really exciting. Everyone's really excited about that. They're taking away the ability to refund certain items in the store later this year. Also good. And then the cinematic came out yesterday. And everyone has in the League community collectively dubbed it the Unreal 5 tech demo. It is literally just a camera flying around and like what looks like an Unreal 5 version of Summoner's Rift, the main map, and a narration. And that's the entire cinematic. Like, after this, I could literally pull up The Call versus this, and you would be like, that's not, like, it's a student project versus a cinematic. Like, it's ridiculous. And everyone lost their shit at how terrible this is. That Riot had to announce, they were like, we have clearly missed the mark. This has been a rough year. And we're really sorry, and we could have communicated better that expectations should have been lower this year. And it's like, this is also coming on about a week or two ago. They also announced what the pro play seasons look like for all the different regions this year. North America's scene is, I think, Wednesday and Thursday from like noon or 3. I forget about the time zones. It's like noon or 3 Pacific time to like 6 or 9 Pacific time. So literally, if you're on the West Coast, you are at work while the entire pro North America scene is played during the week.
Damn.
It's
sucks to suck. Another reason to not move to California, everybody.
But it's insane that, like, this is, why would you do this? Why would you kill your own league like this? And a lot of people are like, well, it's because they're not earning the money anymore, or because apparently Valorant, Riot's super successful competitive game, apparently, like, even though League is more popular still, Valorant's competitive scene is apparently really strong and growing.
Yes.
So, oh, really? You know about this, huh?
Nah, I just hear a lot about it.
Yeah,
well,
my friends who played CS competitively also play Valorant competitively now too.
Well, that's what's picking up steam, especially in North America. So that a lot of people are like, that prime viewing time for North America is probably going to Valorant now. But yeah, it's just a rough start to the season. Like, literally, I watched a bunch of the videos for what's coming this year. They didn't announce much new that wasn't already known. There's a visual overhaul to Ari, one of their most famous champions, that nine-tailed fox Friedman.
Yeah.
And it's literally just like some new graphics and effects and animations, and this has been talked about for like an entire year. So everyone's pretty upset because there's been a lot of memes on r/League of Legends about how Riot has stripped the budget. There's also been like, they got rid of their Riot got rid of the guy who ran the analyst desk for like the between match segments in North America. Like, he's just
was on camera talking. Or...
Yeah, his name he went by Dash, and he ran the desk even though they had different guests and stuff all the time. And everyone's like, so is all the on-air stuff just gone now? Like, what's happening? Are we so in Korea for the English stream? The two guys who cast the games also kind of do analysis between games, and everyone's like, "Are we downgrading to an off language stream from one of the biggest regions? Are we gonna just have that be our primary in North America now? Like, really, how shitty is this?" So yeah, it's not a strong start to League for the year. There's also an event going on right now where it's like a bunch of, it's called like I forget what it's even fucking called. I had completely forgotten it started today, and there's no real reporting on it on the League subreddit about the matches and everything. So really not starting off too strong with League right now.
Damn.
But anyway, enough about being a Westaboo.
Yeah, that was some big in Korea stuff. Let's talk about some big in Japan stuff. It's time for the Weeb shit.
Actually, it's funny you say that real quick. League Worlds is going back to Korea this year, so it's hilarious that you worded it like that.
Damn. All right. Anyway, Weeb shits. We got one bit of disappointing news, then some pretty good news. There's not that much. It's mostly just like trailers, movie announcements. That's all we got because the new season started. So there's no real new anime news happening. First and foremost, Uncle from Another World, the show that came out was airing during, was it the summer season?
Oh my god!
Then it got paused halfway through because the studio, which prior to the show has never done a full seasonal anime, just kind of dropped the ball. So they're like, all right, pause it. We'll restart over during fall season. They do that. They get to the last episode. Their whole staff gets COVID again, supposedly.
Oh my god!
Sounds like it's just mismanagement. So they're like, all right, we're just gonna re-air episode 12 when 13 is supposed to launch, and we'll release 13 at a later time. We don't know when. For Japan, that's fine and dandy. But Netflix decided to gamble on this show actually finishing airing, and despite doing weekly releases for the first 7 episodes, it's like, fuck it, we'll just batch release the last 6 together. And now their gamble failed because the last episode's not ready. So we still don't have another episode after 7 released internationally.
Can I just say one of the worst parts of this is every week seeing a thread show up on Reddit about this show, be like, oh my god, is it actually? Nope.
The worst part is like they're watching like machine translated subtitles, so the ones who are racing to watch and aren't getting the perfect experience,
they're losers.
That's the only way to do it, because like no one wants to wrestle with Netflix. I don't say wrestle with Netflix does, but like if Netflix is subbing it, like generally speaking, there aren't a lot of groups out there who want to compete with Netflix, because a majority of normies are going to end up watching the Netflix subs not there, so they don't get any clout. We saw it happen with Komi-san. There was a bunch of people rushing to do it at first, and then they're like, yeah, no, people are just going to watch the Netflix version. We're out. So it sucks. We're gonna be stuck waiting a while for official translations, and I just want to see the second half of the show. This show, depending on how they pulled it off, could have been my anime of 2022, but now we won't know because it won't even finish.
Now it's not going to be anime of either year.
Yeah, this is like the problem I had when like any show that starts during fall and continues on, that I can't technically give it to either year. But Uncle from Another World wasn't supposed to be this way at all.
Nope.
Anyway, moving on.
You know what sucks too? Because it had such a cool opening and like the art style was kind of different and like the story. Me, and Val were having a good time watching this show.
I mean, I love the opening. It's on my running playlist now. But it's every time I hear it, I think, damn. I wonder how that show ended.
What a waste.
I know. I just want to see this. Even if it's just up to episode 12, Netflix, please just release it.
Nope.
But moving on, the Crunchyroll Funimation Alliance has decided movies are in. We are getting now the smallest delay of releases between them coming out in Japan and the US. I don't remember when Slime came out. I think it was like October.
I just saw a headline like,
or is it just out now? It's not just out now.
Freeman, I thought I saw an art anime earlier about Slime's opening weekend in Japan.
There's no way it's releasing 2 weeks later in the US.
Keep talking. I'm looking for the thread.
Either way, Slime movie is coming to US theaters. I think about 2 weeks after we record this podcast, and then the Kaguya movie was just very recently announced coming to US theaters in February. For anyone out of the loop, it came out just before Christmas in Japan, and it was previewed, like it had a full preview at Anime NYC in November.
Okay, Freeman, hold on. The film opened in Thanksgiving weekend in Japan and just broke 1 million tickets sold in Japan.
Gotcha. So both of these, so Slime is operating 3 months behind. Kaguya is only 2 months behind, which is relieving. If you told me going forward, like every Shonen Jump property movie was going to come out in the U.S. 2 months after it comes out in Japan, I honestly wouldn't complain that hard. That's a pretty close release window. This is like when games used to release in Japan before the U.S. Like we're getting there. We're not...
Nah, I'm still gonna be upset about it anyway.
I mean, yeah, it's fuck it. Why other movies don't do this? Marvel movies don't come out. Well, maybe they do. Actually, I feel like I take that back. I'm pretty sure they do delay in other territories usually.
You know, I thought it comes out U.S. first. We have the opposite problem with Marvel. We get that shit first.
Freeman, also, Val was supposed to message you, but when are we gonna buy the tickets for the Sunday showing that we were gonna go to of the Slime movie?
That's a good question, because as I put this in the notes, I was like, wait, when is that? Do I need to buy tickets?
Sunday the 22nd, I think, was when we said we'd go.
Yeah. I guess just... are we hanging out Sunday? Because I can just buy them then, just to double confirm that everyone's still
Sure.
because you never know, Luigi. Anyway, moving on. My buddy texted me the other day. My buddy Dave, he's like, hey, is Goblin Slayer Season 2 airing this season? I was just like, what the... Like, no, why do you think that? He's like, well, I saw the trailer, and then I'm like, what trailer? So I go to look it up. I see the promo trailer they came out with. Very unimpressive for a new trailer. Animation's pretty wonky. Nothing's really shown in it. But they did confirm that Goblin Slayer Season 2 is coming out in 2023, which is cool, because we knew it was happening at some point. But I honestly don't remember how long it's been since Goblin Slayer when they confirmed the second season. But interested to see more goblin slaying, I guess.
Damn, I guess did you lose? Is it too far in between seasons?
It's almost that I've like forgotten what's going on. Like Goblin Slayer was pretty concise, and then the movie comes out, and the movie is just a 90-minute episode. Like
it is so funny to me that Leslie is the one who just rewatched this show for literally no reason.
I mean, if you just want to watch some dude in a helmet beat up some goblins, like there's no better show.
Autistic man in a fucking it makes sense.
Plus, it's kind of a comedy half the time when you watch him fail to socially interact with anyone.
Yeah.
Either way,
for the blatant rape in the first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
About that.
About that.
About that. Yeah, listeners, if you want to watch a show about goblin slaying, just be warned. There's a pretty graphic rape scene in episode 1. It doesn't get more graphic than that. So, like, if you can get past episode 1, you're fine. In fact, they even censored it more aggressively after the backlash from that. So, we probably won't get a scene quite as descriptive. And then for anyone who watches the movie, yes, there is also another semi-graphic rape scene in that movie too, but it's not as bad as episode 1.
Oh my god, they can't get away from it.
Look, that's the end
what
of the
it
sentence.
is. I mean, I'd rather it honestly stay true to the source material.
Yeah, regardless of whether you believe that this story should be told, this is the story that was told. I'm pretty sure there's censored versions of episode 1 out there if people do want to watch it. But anyway, moving on to the next big trailer. This one I was beyond hyped for. The pseudo sequel to Initial D, MF Ghost, had its anime adaptation announced like forever ago, and then we got our first trailer last year, and there was a little bit of like Eurobeat-esque instrumental only music, which got people hyped. But it got me a little concerned that they're not going to follow through on this, because I'm pretty sure they used Eurobeat music to hype up the Initial D like remake movies that didn't use Eurobeat, and then Toyota started really pushing when they rebranded the Scion FRS as the FT86 or whatever. The new commercials they came out with all had Eurobeat in them. So it seems like, you know, they're kind of embracing Eurobeat again. And then this trailer comes out, and we have full vocal Eurobeat in the trailer. We get to see what the races look like. The animation looks like the new movies, which is phenomenal. The character designs look derpy, but that's just because of who the author is. But the biggest news to come out of this is the cast list at the end of the trailer. It doesn't show who's voicing what, but it shows the list of voice actors involved. And the big takeaway is that when the Initial D, like three remake movies came out, they recast the whole cast. But they noticed that the Takahashi brothers, their original voice actors, are in the cast list, and the recast ones aren't. And they're known to make an appearance in the manga. So it's got everyone speculating, is like the original cast going to be brought back for this and not the new cast? Which would be cool, because that means Dio voices what's his name? The black-haired Takahashi brother.
Oh,
Either way.
Ryusuke?
Wait, who's the other? Keisuke's the other one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Point is, I'm excited for this. I just, even though I can already tell the plot's gonna be absolute garbage, I just want to watch CG cars
I was gonna say, we don't watch it for that. We don't watch it for the plot.
So, hold on, just because we're talking about plot here. Me watching Initial D videos on YouTube has caused YouTube to start re-recommending clips from the Trash Taste episode where they had on this Japanese YouTuber specializing in like drift cars and specifically like Initial D related stuff. And he was explaining what the deal was with Initial D and like whether it was accurate to how street racing was in the 90s. But he talks a bit about how the author of the manga does one thing in every single series he works on. All he does is these high school romances that also involve motorsports. So I didn't know before he did Initial D, he did a manga about like this high school romance, except they're all on like motorcycles. So like he just wants to write these teen dramas, but he fucking loves racing.
Yeah,
Yo,
sense.
cars, bro.
Makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah. But then the last show to come out, this one was kind of upsetting because every year for New Year's, Type Moon and the Fate Grand Order Project do this giant live stream to like hype up whatever's happening in the Type Moon universe, what's happening in the new games, and they had some cool stuff. Like they showed off a trailer for what's probably gonna be like a new like Dynasty Warriors-esque game, but using Fate characters. But the big one was we were supposed to get a full 45-minute OVA adaptation of the light novel series Fate Strange Fate, which the short recap of the series is alternate timeline from the main Fate franchise. Much like with Fate Apocrypha, the timeline is the Grail gets stolen before the fourth Holy Grail War, aka the one we saw in Fate Zero, and it gets, instead of being brought to like the middle of Europe like it is in Apocrypha, it's brought to America. And they attempt to hold their first Grail War since the third one, but something happens, and a second Grail War using different rules and different servants and different nonsense seems to be happening at the same time. So they're trying to figure out the mystery of this strange fake Grail War that's happening. Anyway, we're supposed to get the full 45-minute OVA that might have led into a series on New Year's, but due to production issues, they're like, yeah, not happening on New Year's. We finally got confirmation it's going to happen in like July, so big delay. But they put out the trailer for it, and the trailer looked phenomenal. I am excited for this OVA, and I really hope it leads into a full series. But that was it for the Weeb shit. Now back to the Weeb shit.
Now back.
Yeah.
As we talk about the shows we finished.
It's oh
Is
god.
this finished? Oh, this is all finished.
Yeah, this is stuff that
I split up the finished and started because this is the first week of the new anime season.
Oh, yeah, I didn't finish any shows.
wow.
Wait, you didn't finish Chainsaw Man?
Oh, I did. That's right.
Yeah, and then I finally finished Cyberpunk, so we can talk about that. But I want to just
I also finished Andor.
oh shit, I want to hear your thoughts. All right, yeah. So I'll blitz the first, or I'll handle the first one, and then we'll have formal discussion on all these. Anyway, so Bleach ended. Bleach was pretty cool. I'm very upset that it's not a 3-month delay between seasons, but in fact a 6-month delay between seasons, meaning that Bleach: The 1,000-Year Blood War is technically at the current rate going to take 3 years from its start date to complete. Gonna kind of suck.
3 years of the anime of the entire industry in Japan having fits where they start and stop because everyone's busy.
I waited 10 years. I can wait 3 more. If they can keep the quality the way it was for the first 12 episodes, I'm honestly not that upset.
Except remember when they were like, "We're delaying 6 months because the quality is going to be even better."
Yes, that was the best part of the announcement. Like, yeah, we like didn't even do like half the stuff we're attempting to do in season 4 and season 1. I was like,
ludicrous.
What now? Like after that fire episode, you're
Yo.
saying what now? So I'm excited. I'm just disappointed we have to wait a little bit.
As someone who did not make the mistake of watching all of Bleach, and it didn't make the even worse mistake like Tyler of not watching 1,000-Year Blood War after watching all of Bleach.
Man, I've been busy.
No. It's free.
Playing
I feel like
Evil.
yeah, wow, replaying Resident Evil 2 remake.
I gave this anime of the year for a reason.
All of the Resident Evils. Sorry.
Tyler,
Excuse you.
I'm amazed that you could have so much Bleach in your life and not want to see the good part.
I just love Resident Evil, bro.
As someone who didn't watch any of that old stuff, I mean, listening to Val and Friedman get hype is pretty cool, and man, the animation is gorgeous, and this feels like a well-done shonen show, which is not what I've always heard from Bleach, so...
Yeah, Bleach has a rough pass, and I think the biggest takeaway from the show is there was like 1 or 2 episodes, like it's during the without spoiling for Tyler, like Ichigo and Renji get out of the hot spring, and you can tell this sequence is going to be a filler sequence because you can feel it in Bleach. And they handled it so much better than any other time they've ever done like a filler-esque sequence. It didn't feel like bullshit. It didn't feel like they're pulling you out of it to pull you back in. They like weaved out for a split second, but kept everyone in character. And I was like, and I paused, I'm like, was that it? Was that supposed to be one of his like comedy bits? Because like if that's how they're handling it from now on, I'm not gonna get annoyed at Bleach. Because that was the worst part of original Bleach. Like when they want to do a comedy segment, they just take you out of it.
The best thing you could say about Bleach is that the bad parts aren't as bad anymore.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding. It's really good and it's gorgeous.
The worst parts are completely bearable. It's a strange compliment to give the new Bleach, but it's given what Bleach was, it's an entirely viable compliment.
No, totally.
Anyway, let's move on to the next
controversy.
Controversy. So Chainsaw Man happened.
Is that controversial?
Yeah, because people were very annoyed after it ended about the two big things I saw, and these were both on that stupid petition that went around. One was they didn't like the pacing of the anime, specifically that everything prior to Katana Man's introduction was too slow, which I don't really agree with.
The amount of brain damage it has to take to make and sign that petition. Oh, my lord.
I don't agree with that at all. In fact, I thought the pacing was very good.
So I keep arguing with my buddy Dave because he thinks that everything post Katana Man was too rushed. And he agrees with the sentiment that he thought that they needed more time for the Katana Man and after.
Did he not see them get attacked at the store and have that be that whole fight?
Yeah, no. Post that first fight.
No, I get it.
Like and I agree with him. Like the whole
fucking show. What does he want?
Like I don't know. I had to argue with him about like that not everything needs to get shown to you. Like he was like, they start that training arc with the guy and then it just ends. I'm like, well, yeah, you can assume that they trained with him and now they're better.
Yeah, because you know what? How many?
Want a fucking 80s montage? Did he want like a shonen like?
How many?
We're gonna train an arc for 40 fucking episodes.
Yeah, how many of those arcs are terrible?
Because he wants to see how much better they actually are. Because
no way.
I get his argument here. So like we saw it with Denji with the whole oh wow I can use my legs technique. But like from a legitimate standpoint, if a character goes into a training arc and they walk out of it saying they've trained, and then in the next fight they don't show any difference, and you're just told that they're stronger because they trained, you know what that sounds a lot like? It sounds a lot like Dragon Ball Z.
No.
Unless we've had training arcs in DBZ, and guess what? That shit was boring as fuck.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is yeah, when it's an arc that's not earned, but yes, normally training isn't gonna be this huge, big 20-episode thing. I love that they were like, here's the highlights. He kicks their asses. Remember when he does that shit at the door? He fucking demolishes them and walks away, and it's great. And then it's like, cool, yeah, you did get stronger from that. Wow, look at those leg moves, Denji. GG, we win.
No, I agree with you, but it's... I understand where he's like a big shonen consumer where unless we can visibly see the benefit of the training, you could argue that the training didn't happen.
You know what it is for
it's
me?
Just a narrative trick.
I'm not disagreeing with you because I'm saying you're taking that position. You guys have heard me say on this podcast so many times, I'm getting tired of anime because anime likes to waste fucking time.
Yeah.
This show did not waste time.
Yes.
Like
I agree.
Every moment feels super worthwhile to me, and I really, really appreciate it. Like, I mean...
Can I offer one point I agreed with on him that felt kind of like,
sure,
this is fast? So, immediately post-training with What's-His-Face, we immediately jump into a mission where the special team has been introduced because there's something happening. We don't know what the situation's happening. We suddenly get introduced to the special team. The special team doesn't really matter because we move away from them in less than 3 minutes. I agreed with him there, and I'm like, okay, that was...
Yes, that was a very...
And we walked away from it very fast.
Yes.
Could that have had more time? And I agree with him on that, specifically that bit.
Sure, like, throwing that many characters at you that quickly felt weirdly unnecessary and quick. That is a valid point.
Yeah, and then I'll add one more...
I would say the counter to that, I would just say the reason they did that is because they realized, oh shit, we're not going to get to a point where we can really introduce these guys and give them their time in the sun, but we know people are going to get upset if they don't see them in the first core of the anime. Yeah. So let's get them on screen. And that was the only way to do it.
Ultimately, I wouldn't have this problem if A, this was a 2-core project, or B, they announced the second core. Because
You know, I realized as I was saying the word core, I'm like, wait a minute. This is the one show where they didn't actually announce. I should have put money down on not announcing this because I was so sure that they were going to fucking... If any show... Spy Family got announced before the end, and this show didn't get a season 2 immediately announced.
yeah, this is weird. I think it's just that Mappa has booking issues specifically with the staff they did for this. The two last complaints I need to bring up. One is the internet talking about it, and one is me talking about it. One was that people were mad that they took the time to do unique endings for each episode because that required the creation of 18 minutes of new content, which could have just been another episode.
Oh, yeah.
I saw as one complaint. I'm like, all right, you're not wrong. Which led into the whole argument of like use of CG in the show. I will say this about the last episode. I thought the fight between Denji and Katana Man in CG, when they were actually fighting, looked great. The second they paused to talk to each other, it looked bad. I think I'm going to finalize my stance. CG only looks good in motion. If you have a static object, like a car, it almost always looks like anus in these shows.
Yeah.
And I think, especially, I have not watched Trigun yet. I also didn't put it on the show notes or anything. I'm going to wait to see if the dubcast for Trigun is good before I actually pick which version I'm watching. But from what I've seen with Trigun and Studio Oranges, the action scenes look great, but the second characters have to talk to each other, it looks stupid. And I think that's just a flaw of CG at the moment with trying to imitate anime style. Nothing you really do there. But the argument is, if you had all this effort to animate 18 minutes of hand-drawn ending themes, could you done 18 less minutes of CG? I don't know. I don't understand, or sorry, I don't know what the workflow looked like for doing these endings, whether we can say that if you took people off that effort, whether it could have been applied elsewhere, but it's a big sentiment I'm hearing. All in all, I enjoyed Chainsaw Man. This is a very good show.
I think we just have to accept if we're gonna have this much anime coming out, there's gonna be CGI, and frankly, if it looks as good as it does in Chainsaw Man, then that's a blessing.
We'll talk about it a little bit later as we get into the shows we started, but like I watched the villain episode before we started the podcast night, and I was taking note because I saw Mappa in the intro. I forgot, I'm like, oh shit, they're doing it. I'm like, all right, where are they going to use CG in this? And they used it correctly. But we'll get back to that.
Yes, Freeman, we watched a cozy movie that was sadly not as cozy as I would have liked.
Secret Society Blanket did not make an appearance in the Laid Back Camp movie. This movie's a 0 out of 10. Would not rewatch. Bullshit. No, this movie was honestly pretty close to what I was expecting. A cozy camping movie featuring the cast but grown up. How do I put this? I was whelmed by it. Like it didn't blow up my expectations, but it also didn't disappoint. Like it's exactly what I was expecting.
I think I would say this fell slightly below the ball. I wouldn't have been able to tell you exactly what I wanted, but the fact that the camping, it's funny because if going into the movie I would have said, man, I don't really need so much camping. But at the same time, like, the moments from the show that really stick are the amazing camping trips. And the fact that the only real camping trip in this show is, like, 5 minutes of this runtime.
And then the only other one is, like, a montage.
Yeah, is kind of disappointing. Like, I remember the entire episode. Like, one of the moments that sticks from this show in my mind, Freeman, is the Christmas camp.
Yeah.
That whole episode was just so fun. It was so much up and down. And then this is like, okay, we got the beats. They got food. They got a funny thing going on. Then they're asleep and it's cold outside because we're doing this in the winter again. And it's like, you hit the beats, but like you didn't let it linger and kind of take it slow and like add in other fun stuff. It just felt like we kind of have to have a camping thing, but also let's do this other big project. And it's like, I don't know. I wish it felt a little fast, and it almost felt like I couldn't get in the laid back mood because it was moving so quickly.
Oh yeah, so much of the movie was based on like the core plot of building the campsite that they forgot about the camping part, and it was more building than anything.
Yeah, it was still fine. I think I gave it a 6 at the end of the day on my Animus.
I don't know if I gave it a 6 or a 7, but yeah, it's like somewhere in that range.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's like there's nothing wrong with it, but it also doesn't stand out above the show.
It didn't. You know, with a movie ending in anime, you'd kind of want to be like, oh boy, it happened, and then it just it wasn't like that. Freeman, I think the rest is mostly you.
All right, I'm trying to pull up the exact text I want to make for this stupid meme. All right, I'm not gonna have the joke in time. All right, so I want to rant here
Oh
because
boy.
I watched a show several years ago called Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out. And this falls into a subgenre of shows that I will be talking about again later. Lonely dude meets waifu is the genre I would like to call this. The main character is usually like plain as a board, no personality. You can self-insert on him, and the waifu has some quality about her that's cool, or she just bullies the main character. And this falls into that subgenre of waifu bullies nothing main character. So plot is, dude goes to college, he doesn't really want to do anything, he just wants to go home and play video games after class. But this girl that he knew from high school goes to the same college and she wants to hang out. Except, what's her deal? That's right. She's short and she has big boobs. That's it. That is it. That is the show. Uzaki has big boobs is the plot synopsis. So season 1 is just these, rom-com situations. Oh, do they like each other? Do they not? Oh, they're just hanging out. Oh, she's messing with them. Whatever. And there have been so many shows like this since then that when season 2 started airing, I was like, I don't know if I really want to watch this. Like, this is so, like, this is such a generic version of this archetype. Like, we have Nagatoro season 2 coming out, which came out this week, which I think is just a better iteration of the Uzaki-chan formula. Except episode 1 of season 2 of Uzaki-chan comes out. Opening scene takes place on Christmas, and it has a scene of the two of them falling together on a bed on their alone Christmas date.
Oh, they fuck.
Yeah, they fuck. That's what the show wants you to fucking think for the entire season. You know that on Christmas, the two of them will get together. It is currently fall, and on Christmas they will get together. They show you the ending, and the whole season is the buildup of them both discovering they have feelings for each other and wanting to voice it to each other. So I had made it halfway through the season. I put it on pause, and then I realized this is a great show where I don't have to really watch it with 100% attention. So I saved it for like watching while I'm building Gundams. So I blitzed through the last 4 episodes during one building session, and it was great. We're finally getting that point. It seems like they're finally going to confess. The arc's getting spicy. Then what happens on the Christmas episode? It turns out they weren't falling in bed together. Main character got too drunk, passed out, and fell on her, and doesn't remember anything. And the season ends with him going to a shrine on New Year's, and he turns to the girl and says, "Should I tell her?" No. And he turns to her and says, "Uzaki-chan, we still have so much hanging out to do." And she says yes, and the show ends. I was fucking pissed. I wanted to flip my goddamn table. My favorite storytelling method is telling me how it's going to end and showing me how you get there. And for them to fake us out like this is ridiculous. And to pour salt in the wound. Do you want to know what the name of the next arc is?
Just Friends.
The next arc is called the Confession Arc. These fuckers baited us, knowing damn well they were never going to get to the actual confession this season. This shit got me livid. This show went from being like an almost 8 to 9 to being a 4 because they couldn't handle the ending correctly. What is the point of this shit?
To make you upset. To do this.
I'm so mad.
To
I'm so
emotion.
mad. This could have been one of the best season 2. This would have finally been one of these stupid lonely protag gets bullied by waifu shows to actually have a conclusive moment, and they're like, nah, let's not do that. Let's stress for episode after episode how the main character graduates in the spring and they don't have all the time in the world to hang out and they should get together, only to end with, hey, we got a lot of time to hang out. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, I'm done.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
I'm done ranting about this until season 3 comes out. Then I'll rant again.
Oh, are you gonna fall for the trap?
Oh, I am. I want to see how this ends.
They ain't gonna fuck.
They might though.
They're not. They never will. You see how we were talking about earlier how Tim and I were not happy about how anime wastes our fucking time? There it is.
Funny enough, you know what romance is amazing? Even Tyler likes it. Tonikawa. Does that show waste time? No.
To the fucking moon, my guy. Well, you know why it doesn't waste my time? Because I feel like... Because I know what the show is. Like, I'm not expecting anything. And it's like, until the eventual tease of, like, is she an alien? And I'm like, ah. And then the show goes, ah. Ah. And then it goes back to, like, just kind of not really, like, doing anything, which is fine. Because that's what I watch the show for. Like, it's fun.
I mean, yeah, that's the appeal of it. You're not watching to see it go anywhere. You're just watching to see the characters that you like.
Yeah,
Just
it's
20,
like
20 minutes of feel good.
yeah. Now, if it's if I'm watching the show for the plot, then hell yeah. If it's some shit like, oh, they don't fuck, and it turns out like we could have even done without, like, in my opinion, right, without even watching the show. Like, I've seen devices like that happen all the time, right, where it's like it's implied, right? I mean, TV shows do it all the time. Like, it implies. Technically, we don't know if something happened, but then to like take that to not only like say like, oh no, it never happened, like in a shoehorned fashion, then you also take away that like that feeling of like, okay, I know what happens, but like, did it happen? Like that imagination thing. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that discussion piece that like you and other viewers could have about it, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like stuff like that, it kind of bothers me on a certain degree, because I'm like, okay, well, there goes whatever my expectations or what I thought, and it just kind of throws out the window. Like, if it, I feel like it invalidates my time, especially like with the reveal, because then it's like, oh, um, this is what it actually is, and clearly what all of this has been doing, everything that this story has been about, it has amounted to like what essentially nothing, or like it's a friendship, or like, are they ever going to at this rate? Because how many episodes did it take to get here?
I mean, we're on season 2, so it was 24 total so far.
24 episodes. All
Good
for
lord.
Right, hold on. Season 1, it was not a romance. You didn't think anything was going to happen. Season 2 opened strong with, this isn't an will they or won't they. This isn't a let's maintain the status quo show. This is a, we have a definitive endpoint, and the show isn't about the status quo. It's about how does it change from episode 1 to 12 is how they frame the season. And their relationship does change from 1 to 12, but it feels like they're backing out of it at the finish line because they're like, oh, we don't actually want to change the status quo. We want to have another season. And like, ultimately, I realize what this is I want another Love Hina. For anyone who hasn't watched Love Hina, like, there's a definitive point in the manga where the main character and the main heroine get together, and there's like a good 3 volumes after where it's just about them and their friends and their life after they've gotten together. And I loved that shit when I was like 12.
Yeah.
And I'm just chasing that in every other rom-com anime that happens. And I'm never going to get it.
nah.
By the way, shout out to the Rent-A-Girlfriend fans who are hearing me vent about this and suffering in their own way.
Are they
Anyway.
suffering? They seem to have chosen this.
Look, I chose it too. It's you. Rent-A-Girlfriend's a special case where you know it's not going to go anywhere, but the situations keep getting spicy. So you're not watching it for the plot lines; you're just watching it for spicy situations. So it's a weird kind of purgatory we put ourselves in. But either way, Tyler, you mentioned To the Moon during the Tonikawa discussion. So on that topic, I finally finished Cyberpunk.
Oh, literally, yeah.
Yeah,
Fucking
literally to the moon.
actually to the moon.
Yeah.
Literally.
And I walked away from it acknowledging that from a quality standpoint, from the animation to the soundtrack to how well everyone was acted, this was a 10 out of 10. But and I think we've already talked about this offline, but like despite the fact that Gurren Lagann is my favorite anime of all time, I don't necessarily love bittersweet endings, and I really, really don't love when the bittersweetness is telegraphed a little too early. And I felt like for the last 3 episodes, like I already knew everything was going to happen to David, and it was just kind of like watching a slow descent into the finale. And it's a personal thing. I just don't like plot lines that are like that, so it negatively impacted my enjoyment of the last 3 episodes of Cyberpunk. But I still think this is a phenomenal anime, and everyone should give it a shot. Like, especially non-anime fans.
You know what?
Nothing about this that's like inherently Japanesey.
So you know what's funny, Freeman? You bring that point up. I normally don't either. I feel like I actually kind of held on to hope that there was going to be a way out because of Main's storyline halfway through. I was like, okay, we got our full Psycho ending. Maybe, just maybe, David won't go full Psycho because we already got that.
This is me. This was me.
You're agreeing with me?
Yeah, that Wait, yeah, because what? All right, you know, finish what you're about to say.
No. That's all I was gonna say. It was like I don't like bittersweet endings usually either, but in this case, I actually had hope that we weren't going to go that way because we already had an ending to the story
Oh yeah,
where
no,
we didn't get that.
I was more along the lines of disappointed because I was like, oh, it's just another. You know, I won't say the ending. I guess I don't know. Even though we spoil shit all the time. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, didn't think we'd get another bittersweet ending because we got that ending. It's like, oh great, we saw this. We don't need to see this shit again. And then David goes literally down the hole, and then once he gets put into that suit at the end, I'm like, great. This was just kind of lame. Like I didn't like that last arc. I thought it was kind of lame, personally. Like I thought overall the show was good. Now, if I didn't watch any other things that was like this, or had an ending like that, or something that was like, for even like you said, things that were like telegraphed so early on, I'd probably be fine with it. But it's like we already saw the stuff with oh my god, you just said his name. Uh
Oh, mine.
yeah, mine.
Oh
Like we
yeah.
saw
Yeah.
right? We saw that, and I don't know, I was just like I was looking for something else. Like Michelle and I were looking for something else. She didn't like it mostly because she doesn't like the sad endings either, right? Like she's in the same vein as like you guys with it. I am on the more of like that shit was like too predictable. I did not like that.
Yeah, like it's okay to have bittersweet endings. I just don't like when it's so telegraphed.
Yeah.
Is just my only concern. But overall, this is a great anime. I still like. I even recommend my manager like who likes
Whoa.
like she likes Castlevania, like the American Western anime. She
Castlevania.
doesn't like anime. I was like, go watch Cyberpunk. It's pretty good. Like it doesn't have any weird anime bullshit, which I'm actually enjoying. Plus the music was great.
This fire is out of control. I wanna burn.
Burn this city, burn this city.
When I heard that come on, I was like, Michelle, I haven't heard this song since I was fucking coming home from school and throwing on MTV. Like,
So I had never actually heard that song in its original form as a
really?
kid. If
Get
I
the
did, I
I didn't
don't
either.
remember it. It
I
certainly
heard their
didn't leave
other
an
songs,
impression
but never
enough.
that one.
When
no,
everyone was
I
like,
remember
I can't
the
believe they
video.
redid this song, I was like, this is a redo? I thought this was just a new song they made.
Damn,
Yep.
damn. I like literally like, and every time I heard the song, I didn't even see the opening scene. I literally just saw the music video. Actually, I think there was, if I'm not mistaken, you guys didn't watch MTV, did you?
Nope.
Not a lot.
God damn it.
My parents were a
Well,
little strict.
MTV, yeah, I was unrestricted to a lot of things. Also, my parents couldn't stop me because I was home and they weren't. Like
Oh, this
so
is quite
there,
a music video.
yeah. They did. I forgot what series it was called, but it was on Friday nights. They did like Machinima around the time like when Machinima was popular, but they made music videos, and I think that was one of them. But they did a lot of really stupid shit, like Bring Me to Life with Dark Watch. If you guys even remember that game.
Nope.
Hold on.
Dark Watch. No, don't remember. Oh, I remember this cover.
Yeah, Dark Watch was a fun game.
Edgy as a fuck cover.
Oh yeah, well it's an edgy ass game. You play as a fucking vampire hunter who turns into a vampire after a train robbery goes bad.
His name's Jericho Cross? Oh
Yeah,
my god.
you're welcome to early 2000s like fucking writing. What are you guys looking up?
Oh, no, I was trying to look up this particular machine because I feel like I've seen it, but I can't find it.
Maybe I honestly can't remember. I'm not putting in the effort.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
not
no,
looking. I was just looking at the covers of the game.
All right. Let's
I was gonna
let's
say,
move
is that
on
it? So then we can move on to.
Yeah, let's move on. Tyler,
Now we move on to
what'd you think of Andor?
yo Andor was pretty good. Not gonna lie. Like Andor, like so I watched and I hate saying this. Y'all know I've said this on the podcast. I said it out of the podcast. I said it in my sleep. But y'all know I hate saying and getting recommended or hearing or saying, Tyler, it gets good after X episode. But I gotta say, it gets good after X episode.
Oh no.
I know. I know. I know.
Hit him with the no you.
The no you like all right, like so there is a heist. I think around episode 4 or 5 or something like that. And that heist episode was really good. And I won't forget Michelle and I. We went from like literally like we. It took us literally I think a month or two to get through those 4 episodes because we didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
We're like, well, we'll throw on Andor because like we gotta eat dinner. Like we gotta watch some while we eat dinner, right? And I was like, let's watch Andor. And like, oh, we can watch this or Puppy Cat. And I'm like, I'm kind of over Puppy Cat. Let's watch Andor. And then we get to that episode. And when I tell you how much of a banger that episode was, and then the subsequent episodes, I tell you what. And here's the thing, right? I don't give a fuck about Andor at all. I don't care. In fact, I still think he's kind of boring. But I care about the actual story. I think the story is actually pretty good. And like some of the other characters and like just the things that are happening are interesting. And I'm enjoying it. So yeah. I don't know, Tim, if you want to watch it.
I
But
mean,
you
we
might
watched episode 1 and then there was always something else to watch and I just never felt the
yeah,
drive to go back.
because it wasn't that great. It doesn't grab you. Like that first arc just does not grab you, and it's not until the end of this heist arc where I think the show actually shines.
You just got to power through it.
Yeah, and like you know what, for everybody, like whoever's listening, if you're on the fence about Andor and you don't want to get past the first 4 episodes, trust me, I get it, and I won't, and I don't blame you. But if you find yourself getting past to the episode that I'm describing and you do watch it, you'll probably see what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I liked it. I liked it. If I were to rate it out of 10, it'd probably be like a 7 or an 8.
Okay.
Like
Pretty
at
good.
least as far as like Star Wars content goes, and like I've been ingesting a bit of it lately. Side note, I told Tim this, but I'm watching the Clone Wars show with Michelle, an
How far
abridged
in are you?
version, mind you, though.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was like, you know what, like because I've been hemming and hawing it right for a while, especially after like watching Andor, and I'm like, I kind of want to watch some of this side stuff, especially since like the newer stuff that's coming out is gonna have all this shit as canon, right? And I'm like, I don't want to clear through 100 episodes of this show. Like, I don't think I can do it. And so I was like, you know what? I'll just do the thing that I did with Buffy and watch an abridged version of it.
Hmm.
So we're going through a guide, and we're just like skipping all like the filler episodes, uh, oh, everybody goes shopping. Like there are some episodes like that and shit. But I'll tell you what, this show's a fucking banger. I'm upset I slept on this show. It's really good.
I mean, Luigi said really good things about it, and I know it's been getting high praise over the years. Again, it's another show as much as I'm still kind of the Star Wars guy,
Tim,
it's,
you would
it's
like
been hitting me that I just don't give a shit anymore.
All you do is just wait a couple years until Henry can enjoy it, and then watch it with
Yes.
him as an
Sure,
excuse.
that's fine. I can do that.
Yes. I will say this though, the one thing that does bother me, and this isn't really a spoiler, but like there are so many clashes with like the main bad guys from like, Attack of the Clones and
Mm-hmm.
like Count Dooku, like you see so much of Count Dooku and Grievous,
Oh, and you know they have plot armor the whole time.
and it's like okay, like, all right, Dooku escapes again, woo. And there's like so many plots on Dooku's
Ooh.
life and like and Grievous's life, and I'm like, I know how they die. Like, I don't really give a fuck. But I'll tell you what, there are some scenes where I'm like, oh shit, I didn't expect it. Like, and I would say a lot of the characters are still pretty true to their characters too. But like, oh my god, there was a scene with Anakin, and he's interrogating a guy to find out where Ahsoka is, because Ahsoka's lost somewhere, and he's obviously,
Where is she?
attack. Literally, where is she? And he force chokes him, and I'm like, holy shit, because he's still a Jedi.
Yep.
Like he's still like he hasn't full converted or anything, and it's like you get these small little scenes where like he does some sus shit, and like whoever Jedi is there, like whether it be Obi or like anyone else from the council, they give him a side eye like,
What you
you
doing?
good? And he's like, I didn't do shit. And they're like, okay, we trust you. And you know what? I want to bring up a topic, Tim,
Oh.
about Star Wars in general, right?
Oh no.
And how
Let's
stupid
go.
some of this garbage is. All right. Michelle and I were talking, right? And I know I'm dragging this out a little bit because I realize with the time, but like this is an interesting question. Okay, how come they're in the middle of a war, right? They need all hands on deck. How come like Anakin couldn't just say fuck it and just marry Padme? Like what would they do?
Oh, they kick
Like,
him out of the order. Is real.
oh, they
I
kick
don't
him out
know.
of the order.
Who cares?
Sure. And then what would happen after they kick him out of the order? Would his life be ruined?
No.
No.
He would just be employed as a private bodyguard.
That Freeman. That's literally what we said. We're like, what are the chances that the Republic would be like, oh, you got rid of like one of like your best generals from the Order because he married somebody? Okay. Hey, Anakin, how about we give you your clones back and your own private army, and it's almost like nothing changed, and we're gonna pay you this time.
Tyler, it's not the Jedi way.
Man, fuck the Jedi way. Fucking bullshit. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, literally all of this could have been avoided if Anakin just said fuck it. Because I'm like, does this really matter? Like, does him being in the Jedi, like, everything matter to him? I mean, granted, he was being twisted, right?
He's like, I'm big happy Jedi.
Well, like, not even that, by Palpatine saying like, oh, like if you join the dark side, kid, like, we got cookies,
There it is. I
all
was
this
waiting.
great stuff. And yeah, I mean, I gotta throw the cookies meme out there. But like, he says that stuff, and I'm like, but this is dumb. Like, why choose any side? He's clearly not happy with either. I will say the show does get into some more mystical shit though, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Huh.
But hey, man, regardless, it's good. I like it.
Good.
I'll give the full review of the abridged version.
How far in are you on the abridged version?
I'm at the end of season 3 right now.
Okay.
I have like 2 more arcs to watch through in season 3, which is like the last 6 episodes of the season, actually.
All right.
So
Keep,
there you go.
keep us posted on your progress with it.
I will, and then maybe, just maybe, Tim will watch it
Someday, probably.
someday. Probably. I'm gonna just bring it up to Henry when he gets older, like 10 years from now, and be like, "Yo."
All right,
Your father never told you about the Clone Wars.
we really have to accelerate. It's 9:20. We've been going for an hour. And we still have to do all the new shows and everything coming in this year.
Yeah, we'll rapid fire through these. A lot of these movies at the end are ass anyway.
Oh man.
They're gonna be ass.
All right.
Yeah,
So last 2 things that we finished watching. Freeman, me, and Val watched the new Isekai Quartet movie. You know what's funny? Freeman, looking at my scores, I actually gave Camping a 7 and this a 6. But this feels more on brand, but also just that Isekai Quartet is just like a lower level thing than Laid Back Camp.
This almost didn't need a movie, and it still got one anyway.
This was just a giant episode that was kind of too drawn out, but was really funny.
Yeah.
Lot of the fact I will remember this movie as having plot critical information for RE0 in an Isekai Quartet movie.
Yeah, so they introduce characters that are like important in the lore of ReZero, but haven't been like brought up or like explored fully in ReZero. And this character only exclusively appears in this movie. Like this is his first introduction in the franchise. So like they pulled a little weird stuff here.
There's a character from hundreds of years in the past who goes, "Hello, Amelia. I know who you are."
Oh God.
And then Freeman was just like, "What?"
I was like, what the hell?
Wow.
Alluding to something I'm not aware of.
It was actually hilarious, and a lot of the Reddit threads were really funny, or comments were really funny because they were like, "Wait, so you're telling me we just did dumb other shit with the other franchises, and the author of ReZero is like, put the super critical information in the fucking spin-off side."
Write that down.
Write that down. Write that down.
It was fun. It was dumb. It was a good time. Speaking of rushed things, this felt a little rushed at the end.
Look, all I know is I got the scene from Predator with the handshake. I got that with Megumin and a different Chunibyo character, and it was the greatest scene in the whole fucking movie. I've watched it like 6 times since then.
That was very funny. A lot of the beats hit really good. I just wish, honestly, there was a little more interesting action. It was literally like a check, Tyler. It was like you could see the checkbox of, okay,
we gotta make an Aqua joke.
we've got all these characters. The final action scene. Everyone has to contribute something. These characters from Saga of Tanya the Evil have no powers compared to everybody else. What shit can they do while everyone else does real work?
Oh, God.
Like, it's so funny. But it was fine. It was good. It was more Isekai Quartet, which I always have a blast talking about. So, movie was worth. It's on Crunchyroll like the rest of the show. And then the other thing that finished, I talked about it before, but I don't think we actually talked about Spy Family finishing last time because we had not all gotten together and seen the last episode yet.
Oh yeah, I should finish that.
Oh yeah, because you were the one who wasn't here on Sunday.
Yeah, I was dead, bro. I was fucking sick.
It happens.
Spy Cross Family was quite good, and yeah, argue it would have been could have certainly made the running for any of the top anime of the year lists.
Definitely, I still think that Spy Times Family was like the first. I think the first core was better, but
yes,
because
Nightshade is
Nightshade
is very hated.
Yeah, was it Nightfall?
Whatever her name is.
Yeah, like if you didn't like Yuri, you're not gonna like this character. They're like two sides of the same awful coin.
I think we're going to see her a lot less now that her arc is done, and she'll be like another Yuri, and I think it'll be fine. I didn't hate her nearly as much as I know you did, and I think Tyler didn't like her either.
Yeah, I didn't like her.
If they ever show up for bits and not full episodes, will be good.
Sure, and I think that's what'll happen, and I think, honestly, the fact that, like, for all of her negatives, the tennis thing, and especially the ending against Yor, is some of the funniest shit of the entire year. Like when Yor shreds the ball and then she goes for the hit and she's talking about putting all her power into it and it just explodes. Oh my god, it's fucking actually hysterical. But yeah, Spy Family ended pretty strong. Definitely interested in that movie in season 2. And amazingly, that after all this time recording, we are finally putting to bed the shows from last year, and now we can talk about the shows that started this year.
Oh yeah.
Only a few, but honestly, the biggest one of winter 2023. After you know what, Freeman? You know what I realized?
What?
Or thanks to a Reddit comment, it has been so apparently. In the show, it has been 2 to 3 years since the end of the first season. It has been over 4 years since the first season came out. So literally, we have lived more time than the characters in the show have lived between the seasons.
Oh yeah, since it started, yeah. Because I was sitting here like I explicitly remember it was like the Thanksgiving before COVID. I was like catching up on Vinland Saga at my parents' house.
Also, for those who are mad that I was being coy, Vinland Saga
sorry.
Season 2, Farming Saga
Farming
has
Saga.
begun. And boy, it's so funny because everyone was like, "Oh, Farming Saga, this is gonna be boring." And then episode 1 happens. Me and Val watched a day of, and we were like, "Well, fuck everybody, this is still pretty good." And then Tyler messages,
We haven't gotten to the boring bits yet. We're gonna be on the farm. For
"Okay,
a while.
whatever." And then Tyler messages, "Yo, that was a 5-minute episode." And I'm like, "Vinland Saga is truly back." I don't care about the boring parts. Look. Freeman, here's the easy thing. With so many anime that suck and fail to capture in the beginning, the fact that Vinland Saga Season 2 came back after all these years and was like, okay, do you remember why you care about Vinland Saga? Here you go. Watch Vinland Saga.
Yeah, but I'm saying like these bits are about to fade away. So like one of the big things the manga readers didn't like is a lot of them are reading because they wanted a Viking story, and it's gonna not be about the Vikings for a bit here. It's kind of like the same. It's almost the same problem that Walking Dead had in Season 2. They spent a lot of time on a farm, and everyone was very mad about that because they wanted...
Yeah, you know what the difference is?
Like
Those were hour-long episodes, and it was boring people we don't care about, whereas this is Thorfinn, and 20-minute chunks, so I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, but I just want to talk about the
Plus, the OP
like,
is a banger.
The reality was that manga fans were very disappointed, and it lost a lot of readers when it changed tone. So, like, the production team has been very aggressive about, like, making sure viewers go in knowing, like, hey, the tone's going to be different. Don't get mad because it's different. And I think with everyone going in with that expectation, like, no one's going to be surprised, shocked, and upset when suddenly it's like, wow, there's no more sailing. So, like, as long as everyone tempers their expectations, we're all going to have a good time because Mappa is translating the art style fantastically.
Yeah, show's really pretty. So something I commented to Val, I have the feeling that the reason the OP and the ED both have so much English is because Japan really doesn't give much of a shit about Vinland Saga, and it's everybody else who does. Yeah, so it feels like this is kind of pandering, which is fine, but I was like, wow, this intro is like mostly in English.
Yeah, the intro and outro.
Yeah, they both are. I'm just butthurt they didn't get Aimer back for any of this. I wanted to
They're too busy doing what's the intro? I know they did one this season. I thought I saw it on Reddit.
Oh, she just announced she's getting married to the audio director from Demon Slayer.
Well, they must have spent a lot of time making that song, so.
Yeah, right.
But what was I'm pretty sure they're doing a song this season. Whatever. Anyway, I immediately was looking for it and couldn't find the actual rendition of the intro from the show anywhere. I know it came out a while ago, Freeman, in a trailer, but I could not find just a clean-cut version of the song, which sucks.
I expect Crunchyroll's going to post it pretty soon.
I'm sure they will, along with spoilers an hour after it comes out about, hey, they put out a fucking clip that's like, look, it's Thorfinn. He's right there. And it's like the whole episode is billing, whatever. The real. Now, that Vinland Saga is the important show of the season, that's fine. But Tim's important show of the season and Aiden's important show of the season, Demon Academy. Anno Savoldigod is back. So good. The fact that this and Eminence and Shadow are airing at the same time is like just making me so happy to have these two dumb shows out at the same time.
Powered fantasy shows happening at the same time.
Oh, it's great. Freeman, and so Aiden is not here because Aiden was still too excited by the fact that the show came back to appear on camera. So I watched this, and Freeman, you said you watched episode 1, right?
Yeah, I saw episode 1 last
Tyler and Val are definitely not gonna watch this show.
Nope.
I will say the most important thing for me is that I was super worried about the new voice actor. And I was on the podcast saying the trailer scared me. It is not as good as original Anno's. He does not carry that same swagger confidence. But the writing and everything else is still strong enough, and he carries a different confidence, like the cold confidence. It's not as fun, but everything else around it is still good enough that you guys know in the house where my office is and how I soundproofed it and how, like, Val on Sunday night was like, I was in bed and I could hear you laughing across the house.
Damn.
Like, me and Aiden were freaking dying at some of the stuff in this episode. So over the top. It was so good. Man, am I so excited for this show, and I don't care about the voice actor as much anymore.
So I have the exact opposite take. So like I realized very abruptly as he started speaking that like the only thing keeping me attached to the show, because I was kind of whatever on the plot, is just I loved how cocky Anos was, and the current actor is just like, I don't know if he just has a very limited range. This is the Goblin Slayer and Cautious Hero actor, and he's doing the same fucking voice. He's like barely tweaking his normal voice to be slightly more cocky, but it's just not enough. And it doesn't feel like Anos. Like, it just feels like a different character to me. So I didn't
feel like anus.
It doesn't feel like anus.
See,
I like straight up didn't enjoy episode 1. I'm not dropping it. I'm gonna stick with it. But like, it really hurt when the end of the episode he turns that one game. He's like, we're gonna be perfectly prepared, and I'm sitting there like, shut the fuck up. Do not say the line from Cautious Hero using the Cautious Hero voice. Please do not be the same character in every show. Be Anos, please. So I'm gonna give him a fair shake and let him do this.
But that's what I mean when the writing is so funny. Like when the whole thing in the schoolroom happens with the father of the gods and everything like that. Like,
yeah.
I don't care that Anos, like, it would be better if Anos' voice was the same, but that kind of literally the stupidest fucking thing ever moment is what I come to this show for, and me and Aiden just ate that shit up. Like Tyler, who cares about spoilers? Just, if anyone's gonna watch it, just watch episode 1. Literally, Anos and his friends go to school. Their teacher has been is some new tier of demon guy. And he goes, Anos, you're the Demon King. Isn't that great? And Anos goes, yep. By the way, why is literally the Odin equivalent pretending to be this demon? And he goes, oh, I'm here to kill you. And Anos just pulls out his sword and stabs the guy. And the guy goes, well, that doesn't matter. And Anos goes, well, I actually resurrected you at 10% of your power.
Oh
and then
my god.
But then the guy goes, oh. And then he just starts teaching the class.
What the
And Aiden and I, it doesn't even say, I can't, like, right away. They say later, I can't believe he started teaching us. This is so stupid. Like, they actually say that in the show. But they immediately cut from them talking to him teaching the class, and everyone else is talking, and you see him in the background, and Aiden and I are just losing our minds, dying laughing at this shit. Oh, it's so dumb. I love it so much. I'm so happy Demon King's back. Yes, I wish it was the original Anos, and I'm sorry you're losing it from that, Freeman. I get it. I really do.
Yeah,
but
it's just because like Anos was the only thing holding me to the show,
and I get that.
It feels like it's just a different character here.
Totally get that. But I'm hype. I will keep watching. Just like Evidence in Shadow, this is going to be a must-watch. Like, Wednesdays at work, I find time to watch Evidence in Shadow because I'm so pumped to watch Evidence in Shadow every week. And the only reason I won't do that with this is because me and Aiden have to have our date nights. So if it wasn't for that, I would just watch this, like, Saturday morning. I wake up, Anos, like...
Yay.
Speaking of which, Friedman...
Back on the topic of lonely dude.
Oh my god.
So I started watching this one show, which, full disclosure, I'm probably going to drop by episode 3, called Tomo-chan is a Girl. I knew nothing about the show other than that Rie Takahashi, the voice actress for Megumin from Konosuba and Amelia from ReZero, who I love her voice, I love everything she's in. She's voicing the main character in one of these. So I'm like, you know what? I'll give it a shot.
There is one other thing, Freeman. This was our anime's highest scoring Karma show of the season before, like, Vinland came out.
Yeah, which is part of why I jumped in. I'm like, all right, maybe it had a strong first episode. And I'm not gonna lie, the acting for the show, very good. Everyone's doing a great job. The problem is, I've seen this show before. I'm watching episode 1. The plot synopsis is this girl, Tomo-chan, is just this huge tomboy. And she's been hanging out with this guy since they were in elementary school, and she likes him, and she wants him to see her as a girl, not as just like one of the dudes. But this guy just keeps treating her like a bro, except it's super obvious that he has a crush on her and doesn't want to deal with it, but she has a crush on him and wants him to acknowledge her as a girl. And that's your status quo that we're going to roll with for this show. And then you have 2 side characters who are slowly nudging them to get together, which is the same fucking plot as Uzaki-chan. And it's like, I watched through this and I got to the end of episode 1, I'm like, all the characters were acted very well, but I've already seen this show 4 times. And then to make matters worse, Nagatoro season 2, the show that arguably is like the best at doing this because this show thrives on the status quo. With Nagatoro, the whole gimmick is the girl goes to bully the guy and it always backfires, and she ends up getting like dunked on by accident. So you don't care about the status quo. You're here to just watch this girl get dunked on by her own jokes, and that's the gimmick for Nagatoro, and I like that. But it's just like unless you're gonna do something unique, I don't know why they're doing this. So I'm gonna stick with it a little bit. I feel like this is gonna be a crap. What was that anime that came out this year about the pink-haired girl who would stand up for her wimpy boyfriend?
Oh, the show I dropped. Hold on, I
Yeah,
can
what was
probably
that
find
one?
it because I dropped it. It's one of the only shows I've ever given up on.
This is gonna be just like that. It's gonna be like it's very formulaic and doesn't do enough to be any better than the last 3 times this formula was used this year. That said, Nagatoro season 2 came back and it was a phenomenal first episode. I still recommend watching that. If you like this trash genre but don't want to watch all of them, just watch Nagatoro. It's entertaining.
Didn't I drop this show?
Oh,
Based on-
Shikimori's not a cutie or whatever the fuck it was.
Oh, I still have it on hold. Nah, fuck, drop that shit.
Yeah, I heard it didn't get any better. Anyway, but that was it for new show started this week.
And now, an hour and 15 minutes in.
Do we even want to at this point?
Nah, let's do it.
Oh boy.
This can really be a blitz because really we don't. This isn't like the reviews where it's like we've watched stuff. This is just hey, this is coming. We're hype a little bit.
Yeah.
So 2023, as I said an hour and 15 ago, we're doing the look ahead. There is a lot of stuff coming out this year, anime, movies, and games, and we're just going to blow through a bunch of it pretty quickly to kind of touch base on at least what excites us. I added all the movies down below, and I only put ones like Indiana Jones does not excite me, as literally heartbreaking as I say, so that's not going to get any more mentions after this. But Tyler, do you want to talk about games? Because I feel like a bunch of these are yours. Or Freeman, do you want to talk about these? Because I only have like one game I give a shit about.
This whole list is stuff I put on.
Oh, I know you put it on, Freeman, but Tyler's the only one here who plays like 10 video games a month, whereas you're working on Witcher 3 and I don't get to play video games. So
Damn.
I figured Tyler could be the one to touch base on video games, even though you did put them on the list.
Wait, hold on. I want to forgot. Damn it. Shit. Jedi Survivor.
Oh yeah, I forgot that show. I almost said show. That
Forgot
game
that
is coming
shit.
out.
You put it down, and I was like, "Oh, is this like a Star Wars spin-off of Vampire Survivor?" But I realized it's not related at all.
Wait, what else we got? Starfield.
All right, so that's already on there. Freeman, you put them on there. Why don't you start? Because Tyler didn't even read what you had on the list.
Yeah, so I
Sorry,
went
my
in like,
bad.
order of supposed release day here. So like first and foremost, because it's coming out in like 2 weeks, I put Forspoken on the list, and I just want to clarify: not all the games on here are ones I'm going to play, but ones that I'm interested to see what happens when they release. Like Forspoken is blatantly using the Final Fantasy 15 engine, which I liked.
Did you play the trailer or the demo?
I didn't play the demo yet. I realize it's out. I want to try it. I've been following the story trailers, and I don't know how I feel about the main character, but I like the whole idea of like motion that I've seen in the gameplay trailers. But I heard it's kind of wonky. I'm gonna try it out. I'm not buying this at launch, but I'm curious about it.
It's literally Miles Morales, not because she's black. Miles Morales,
Oh,
but
from
with Final
movies,
Fantasy.
from- Yeah.
It's weird. Like also like I'll say this, it's a little jarring because
I heard it's kind of clunky.
I mean, well, I meant like her as a character.
Oh.
Because it's clearly like a modern, like this is a person in like a medieval fantasy world. Like it's an isekai.
Yeah.
It's like she's
Oh god,
running
it's
around.
getting into
doing,
games now.
yeah, she's running around doing a bunch of magic shit in her fucking chucks. Like it's weird. But like it's cool. I hate the UI though. The
Oh,
UI
really?
needs to be fucking changed. Yeah. Like it's cancer. Like they either need to do some shit or whatever. I'm not gonna buy it at launch, but I think I'm gonna wait for the price drops on this one because like I think it's interesting. The gameplay is kind of interesting too. I kind of like the magic system. I dig it. But yeah, I think it's fun. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm interested in seeing like first like reviews on it for sure.
Yeah, definitely interested, but not playing it anytime this month.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one. So, Hogwarts Legacy. We ended up talking about this a lot over New Year's, I think.
Oh yeah, because Michelle is super excited for it and won't shut up about it.
Yeah, I'm very curious about your or her opinion on it before I play this.
Yeah,
Because like obviously, it's Harry Potter. They're gonna hit the theming right. The question is just, is it gonna be fun to play?
yeah, yeah. I'm interested, and yeah, she wants it on PC in case they have mods for it. Even though they're coming out with like exclusive content for PS5. But we'll
I
see.
wonder how long it'll stay exclusive though.
Oh, the content? No, it's
Like,
timed. I think it's timed already,
cause they say like
probably.
once they do the Game of the Year edition, all that shit gets rolled in.
Yeah. Oh well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll
We'll
see.
see.
But Tyler, you want to talk about something super hype?
Yeah. Uh, Resident Evil 4 remake. It's actually funny too, because like I'm going through all the Resident Evil games right now. I think in preparation for this, except I'm not playing 6 though, because that game sucks dick. So I'm playing through all of them, including 7
Wait,
and 8.
is six the one where the logo looks like
Yes, a
two
giraffe
giraffes?
and a
Yeah.
blowjob.
Okay,
Yes, yes,
good.
yes, yes. That's the one.
Okay, cool.
Coincidentally, it also sucks dick. So like, and not
That was
even
that
in a
was
good
what
way.
triggered my memory of that.
Yeah, no. I can't wait for this. I really hope it sticks the landing. Uh, Huge fan of Resident Evil 2 remake, and uh, the 3 remake was like, it was good. Like the presentation was very good, but like it took out the best part about what made Resident Evil 3 great. And I know I got a lot of pushback on that. And as someone who plays the regular Resident Evil, who has played Resident Evil 4 every year at least once, from the time he was in 7th grade to now, I'm 31 by the way. I am hoping that sticks the landing. Um, it's come out in March too. It's not far away. Um, so I'm pretty excited for it, and I will be definitely gushing about it. And if not, then the world might explode. So stay tuned for either a good review or the end of the world.
Uh,
Zorlda.
what was it called? Tears of the Kingdom. I forgot to write the actual title on here and just wrote Breath of
Yeah.
the Wild 2.
So wait, you beat Breath of the Wild 1, right?
I have not. I technically
The
own it. My
fuck,
brother,
bro?
because I own a Switch. My brother was using my Switch when I was living at home. He bought Breath of the Wild, so I think it's still in my apartment. I haven't played it.
Dude, it's so good. You should find a way to blitz through it. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. You just play it when you get a chance. But I liked Breath of the Wild 1 though. It was really good.
I
Like
feel like
as a
now that
Zelda fan, like it was the best not Zelda game I have played.
yeah, I
If
was
that
saying
makes any
now that I've dipped my toes into like open world games, I used to just avoid them. Maybe
Mhm.
I'll actually really enjoy this.
Have you played other Zelda games before?
I've only played like the first half of Twilight Princess.
Okay, so I will preface this. I mean, it might, Breath of the Wild, like this is unlike any other Zelda game you've played.
Well, I'm aware that this changed the formula aggressively. Like, if I play this, don't expect other Zelda games to be like this because this one's very different.
Correct. Like I would say you get more of like a unique experience, whereas like it was probably very hard to design like bosses and dungeons around because like you can go and do anything at any point. Like there's no order to it.
Yeah, so they have to balance it a different way.
Yeah, so we'll
That's supposed to be
see.
that's supposed to be like you have to go to the water temple next kind of design.
Right, exactly. But we'll see. I'm interested. Um, Final Fan.
Final
Is that
Fantasy
really coming out this
16.
year? Is 60 coming
Yes,
out this
I
year?
believe it's July. Let me double check the release date, but it
Oh
is this year.
God.
I know. It feels like forever this was announced. Um, oh, June 22nd.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm
Oh
excited for this.
fuck. I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm hoping it's good. I'm excited, but also very like iffy on it. I don't
Look,
know.
I need to paint a bleak picture for you here. So, like, when I got into Final Fantasy, like, the next new one coming out was 13. So 13 was the first Final Fantasy where it's like, I'm here for the launch, I'm here for the excitement, and then I just watch everyone get so fucking mad. And then 14's an MMO, which I didn't care about. So the only two Final Fantasies I've been around for the launch of are 13 and 15. And if anyone's out of the loop, the launch of 15 was very like it wasn't great at launch. It was very clearly a repurposed spin-off game that's now the main title. For the first time since I've been a Final Fantasy fan, it feels like this one is like a real Final Fantasy launch. And I'm kind of excited for it. I don't know if they're going to do it right. I'm just excited to be here for it.
Yeah, true. I am. I'm hoping that it's good.
Just want it to succeed.
Yeah.
Moving on to
Octopath
another
2.
Square Enix. So Octopath 2 is happening. I want to preface this with Octopath, the combat system, which I like, is ripped straight out of Bravely Default, which I liked. But Bravely Default had a shitty story. Bravely Second doesn't have an engaging story. Octopath Traveler had 8 completely independent and not overlapping at all stories, and I didn't like that. I got to chapter 4 out of 8 for all 8 characters.
No.
With Octopath 2, I'm very curious if they learned that like having every single story be completely unrelated is a bad idea, and they should try and interweave them. But if they still do this independent story shit, I'm not touching it. I've played this combat system through 4 games, all 4 of which I didn't like the story of. At some point, they got to deliver a good story with this combat system, and I'm hoping it's Octopath 2. So this is one of those that I'm just like keeping an eye on. I'm not buying it until I hear that it's good.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the first one. I did like the art style though.
Oh yeah, I'm really glad they're going all in on the HD 2D concept because like I know
Yeah.
they're remaking one of the Dragon Quests this year with it. People are like clamoring to do Chrono Trigger in this style, which I don't know if it would jive well, but I'm curious what other old games they're going to attempt to do in this style because it seems like the engine works and it's good. Like they're doing what was that one? Live Alive came out this year, where that had
Yeah.
never released in the U.S. and the HD 2D was perfect for it. So the more games they can try this out with, the better. Get a return on their investment and make more games available.
Let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
see.
All right, next one, the long-awaited Starfield.
Stankfield. I mean, I'm cool with jank. Are you guys cool with jank? I'm cool with
You
jank.
think it's gonna be all right? Well, I don't know. I'm gonna ask that question.
Don't even ask that
How
question.
janky do you think it's gonna be at launch?
Very. Very. It's a fucking Bethesda game. Of course
Yeah,
it's gonna
I
be
still
jank.
remember. I still remember being like in college class and hearing people talk about the whole like if you hoard too much shit, it'll crash your game permanently. And I'm just like, what the hell is this video game?
Yeah, there's so many things. And it's like you gotta balance the mods just right, or else your game will break. I don't know. Oh, Jesus. Sorry about that. God.
Not a problem.
What was I saying? Yeah, like I feel like it's gonna be jank, but I'm still gonna play the shit out of it probably, as long as it works.
Yeah, there's another one of those. I'm waiting for the reviews kind of game.
Yeah,
That or waiting for the 2.0 patch.
yeah, yeah. If it was, yeah, maybe I might do that instead. Because I am excited for it. Like it looks like a lot of fun. Like I want to play it. But
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know,
I've gotten to
maybe
the point
you're
where
right.
like as a kid, I was sitting there waiting for the next big game to launch, and now I'm at the point where it's like I have so many games to play that if a new one comes out, it's like a drop in the bucket right now. I'll wait to see.
Yeah. And plus the backlog is so fucking long.
Yeah, it never gets smaller. Every Steam sale makes it worse.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that'll
Yeah.
be cool.
Anyway, let's keep moving along. Hopefully, Tim will return at some point here. But Pikmin 4. I unfortunately skipped Pikmin 3. I played 1. I loved the shit out of 2. I didn't play 3 because my brother was borrowing my Wii U. He played it, said he didn't like it, and then when I heard it was coming out for Switch, I'm like, oh, I'll get the Switch version. And then I didn't, and then they stopped selling the Switch version because Nintendo was like, making things artificially scarce is a cool marketing tactic.
Damn.
So I haven't played 3. That said, 4 will be coming out for Switch. I still own a Switch, and I still like Pikmin, so I will probably grab 4 because that's a fun pick up, play a little bit, put away kind of game, which I've definitely been clamoring for more of that style of game lately.
Yeah. I haven't really gotten into those games. I never liked time games.
That's why I hated Pikmin 1. Like, you have 25 days. You have 25 days to complete all the objectives, or you just lose. With
Yeah.
Pikmin 2, like, you can do it any number of days you want, but it's always 20-minute segments. So, like, there was one. It would be like I'd spend a day just prepping, and then I'd spend a day executing a plan, and I liked that. Pikmin 1, it was like, yo, if you have to spend a day like getting more Pikmin, you're gonna fuck yourself over because you're gonna run out of time, and that's your whole playthrough. And I didn't really like that from Pikmin 1, but they seem to have learned their lesson. Like, there's no hard time gate or your playthrough's done anymore.
Right. All right.
Supposedly, I
pretty
don't know how
cool.
3 works.
Yeah, I don't know shit about
Yeah.
shit.
Anyway, all right, we got 2 left for games. Is this a remake or a new entry?
Oh, Dead Space. Oh, it's a remake.
Why
I don't
feel
know
like Dead
why the
Space is not
fuck
that
they're
old?
remaking Dead Space, but like whatever. I don't
When did this come out? This was
know. It's coming out soon.
How far in are we?
we're on Dead
Dead
Space.
Space.
Oh, perfect timing for me to come back.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, did I not really
You
care about...
Dead Space?
Hell yeah.
Well, I know you care about Dead Space, but like you care about Dead Space remake.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what it looks like. I will find the time to play this game, even if it's only the classic dad thing of only in like hour chunks.
I know I'm about to say some dumbass shit, especially after I just talked about like Resident Evil 4, how I'm excited for it. But I played Dead Space a bunch of times. I ain't gonna buy it again.
Nah, the only thing that would make Dead Space 1 better is some of the gameplay improvements from Dead Space 2, like the Zero G. And if they want to do that and give it a facelift and change the story a little to be to like just mix things up and give Isaac actual spoken dialogue like he had in the rest of the series, unless the writing is somehow 10 times worse than it was, I'm fucking down.
I feel you. I am down to at least check it out. Right.
When is the release date again? If it's Friday, then fuck working. I'm just gonna stay home and play my fucking Dead Space. But I don't think it's Friday, sadly. God, if it came out on my birthday, I'd be so happy. Oh, it's 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Boo.
Boo, boo you whore.
I was born on the 27th now.
Yeah, was it, yeah, I mean, I'm interested in it, fuck it. I mean, I'll look at it, I probably won't buy I'll probably watch you play. If you play.
Oh, good. If you pre-order, you'll also get Dead Space 2, the original version, as an extra throw-in. Like, why?
Why?
Ooh, great. Why not the whole trilogy, though? Like,
Oh my god, this is
fucking
so
games are
dumb.
worth like $5 a pop now.
The digital deluxe edition comes with 5 alternate suits. Why?
Wait, isn't first person or is it third person?
Third
person.
Oh, never mind. All right, so you can actually see them then.
But who the fuck? That's not worth $10. God,
Oh,
EA just can't.
Skins costing $20.
EA cannot for. Yeah, you know what game helped start that shit for even this fucking game, specifically Dead Space 3. Dead Space 2 a little bit, but Dead Space 3 was up. Well, one of the Steam gifts shows Zero G looks like Dead Space 2, so seems pretty hard to fuck this game up now. Plasma Cutter feels good. Zero G's good. Looks gorgeous. Yeah, I'm fucking down. I won't. I might. I don't want to pre-order, but I might.
Wow.
Oh fuck! And I just ruined the podcast by blasting audio at everybody by accidentally clicking on the Steam window and playing the trailer.
I didn't hear it.
No, you guys
no,
didn't, but the
the
podcast
listeners
listeners
did.
sure did.
Sucks, listeners. Sorry.
Anyway,
We
yeah,
got this awful podcast.
I'm hyped for this. I don't know if it'll be an LP quite, but I will play this.
What do you mean? You're done LP. We ain't LP.
I don't want to be
LP
though.
just stands for Let's Purchase now.
Yeah, but.
Tell me I'm
And then the last one, Ty, you mentioned Jedi Survivees.
Oh yeah, Jedi Survivees, the sequel to Fallen Order, Star Wars Fallen Order, which Tim did a Let's Play on, and I'm watching through it to catch up. But it's slow, like really slow, because I keep forgetting to watch it.
That's
Oh, I thought you were
fine.
saying Tim's Let's Play is slow. Damn, is he about to insult me?
Oh no, I'm slow. Yeah, right. Man, Tim's real slow. I will say you whiffed that first
Yeah,
like
the very
mini
first
boss
mini
a
boss on the
thousand
first
times. I was
planet
like,
is just a
damn, bro.
no.
I was like, shit. But nah, yeah, I'm just watching it slowly. It's not that long though, like the grand scheme of things. But that's it. I'm like mildly excited for it. I guess something to look forward to.
Some interesting games overall this year.
I mean, dual
Yeah.
wielding lightsabers is always pretty sick, so I'm excited to see that they added that. Um, this game always felt weird to me though. It's the classic video game lightsaber thing where it's like a Dark Souls thing, but it's a lightsaber, and you're like,
Yeah.
but lightsaber.
The lightsaber. Zoom. I like how you cut shit like pieces off, so like when they die, like pieces fall off of them.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
that's
that's kinda
that's always good. I just miss like Jedi Academy. Jedi Academy was
Eddie,
like,
you're old.
wow. Okay. Anyway,
Get it.
hey, there's anime coming out this year. We are
Oh, boy,
not
is there
gonna
a lot.
dwell on
There's a lot
any
of
of this shit. We
No.
can't.
I included just a list of all the ones that are like specifically the ones that aren't slotted into a season yet. Cause we've talked about everything else, but like I'm gonna blitz through the list and just point at the big hitters here that we're gonna be talking about at some point in 2023. First and foremost, we got Solo Leveling, biggest Korean manhwa, totally ended right after the announcement because one of the illustrators died. That's happening. Attack on Titan
Ugh.
Part 3.
Not coming out this year.
Supposedly confirmed. I still can't believe they're calling it final season after giving it a whole fucking year delay. MF Ghost is happening. Goblin Slayer season 2 we already talked about. The new Fooly Cooley season. I could give less of a shit. I just can't believe they're doing another one. Jabba's Reincarnation is happening.
Dr. Stone season 3.
Dr. Stone's coming back. Witch on the Holy Night, the new Type Moon shit. They're getting a movie adaptation of part of the visual novel. They're not going to adapt all this, but Ufotable's doing it, so I'm going to watch
Did you
it.
say Jobless Reincarnation season 2?
Yes.
Okay.
That's happening. Where is it? I thought Mashal was going to show up. Maybe it's further down.
I'm
So
scrolling
Mashal,
through a
which is
different
One
part of the
Punch Man
list than
Goes
you.
to Hogwarts is happening. There's a lot of bad stuff on this. Oh, never mind. Wait, Tonikawa's on here. There's good stuff. Tonikawa season 2 is confirmed for 2023. And supposedly Spy Family season 2 is confirmed for 2023, which means we'd probably get the movie before that.
Freeman, you also forgot your show.
My show.
Literally the Konosuba prequel about Megumin.
Oh, sorry. I'm still going through the stuff that doesn't have a release date confirmed. I'm pretty sure
Oh.
it's slotted into one of the seasons, though, right?
I don't know. I just scrolled down and I'm just literally scrolling through. April, so it's spring season.
Yeah, it's spring season confirmed already, so I'm very excited about that. A lot of this list is not up to... Oh, no, they're splitting up for High Dive. Wait, is High Dive actually get the Tokyo Revengers? Shit, I thought it was going to be Disney exclusive.
Can I say I cannot fucking believe that the smartphone isekai got a season 2?
This is so stupid. I was telling you guys on Sunday, like I was in Barnes and Nobles, and some of the names on the manga that haven't gotten anime yet, they're all the same fucking formula. It's just like,
Is it wrong to pick up a
space pilot? Now I have the fastest ship. Like you could, I feel like went through AI generators or some shit to come up with these titles.
I cannot fucking believe that Is It Wrong to Pick Up a Girls in a Dungeon season 4 part 2.
Jesus.
All right. Also, Devil is a part-time. Oh, keep going. Yeah. No, if you're gonna talk about that,
I'm gonna defend the name of Is It Wrong to Pick Girls in a Dungeon. The author didn't want to call it that. He wanted to call it like, because the whole plot is there's these gods and they have families, and he wanted to call it like Family of the Gods. But his editor's like, nah, you got to put some clickbait in the title. So they made him do that. But then since then, every other property except for the anime has phased out the original title, but the anime still uses it.
Truly amazing.
So they've gone beyond their clickbait, except the anime still rolls with it because they know people will love it.
Devil is a part-timer season 2 apparently is getting like a part 2. I genuinely don't think we're gonna watch that because who the fuck cares?
I'm not even gonna finish the first part because of just how poorly it was received.
It really didn't do amazing.
I'd just keep my memory of season 1. Oh, and then finally, Black Clover's coming back for the movie on Netflix. I think
Black Clover.
Like, unironically, Black Clover sucked for the first 30 episodes, and it turned around so hard to become such a good shonen. I've been waiting for it to come back.
You know, maybe it's important to watch to give things a couple. I swear it gets good.
Dude, like honestly, with most shonen, like especially from that era, like,
Oh, God.
Bleach changed very hard after 26 episodes. Hitman Reborn, Naruto, all of them change very hard after 26 episodes and don't really get good until their second major arc. And Black Clover is no different. It's that classic formula of we got to get people in the door, get people entertained, and it's like, all right, well, let's like figure out what we're doing. Hunter x Hunter changes aggressively after 26 episodes when they introduce the whole power system. So it's a very common thing for these long-running shonens, just transform into episode 26, and Black Clover's no exception. Anyway, oh God, Villainous is getting a movie. I forgot about this.
Oh my God, I forgot. Yes.
Yeah, announced for 2023. All right, yeah, all right. We blitzed through the anime list. Let's get through movies and wrap this up.
Yep. So, most of these we've talked about before, but this is just the ones I wanted to cover. Actually, looking through a list of movies coming this year, I had not heard of just this one, but 65 is a movie starring Adam Driver where he goes into space, lands on a planet, and it's 65 million years ago, Earth. So
it's really fucking dumb, but I kind of want to see it.
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Plus, Adam Driver tends to be pretty great, so I kind of feel like I should watch a movie with him in it again, or watch a new movie with him in it. So, yeah. John Wick 4. Tyler's not that excited, but he's still gonna watch it.
Yep.
I'll definitely go watch it. Maybe we'll catch Freeman up in time. Probably not.
I'd be down to blitz through 2 and 3 to go see 4 in theaters.
Honestly, you could probably just watch 4 without it, but it's worth seeing.
Yeah.
The honestly, another group watch potential movie, the D&D movie, seems low key not completely horrible.
It seems low key not horrible.
Unironically excited for this movie. I want to see this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tyler.
Looks great. What?
Unrelated, semi-related to like movies like this. I was talking to Friedman about this on Sunday. Apparently, the Borderlands movie that's actually supposed to be coming out this year has they brought on a new director to do reshoots. So I just thought it's hilarious to think of what a pile of shit that movie probably is.
Do we know who the director is?
I'm sure it was on our movies. So.
All right, hold on. Keep going.
My already movie of the year probably Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, across the Spider-Verse. Absolutely cannot fucking wait for this movie. Like, so Into the Spider-Verse is one of my favorite animated movies / just straight up movies of all time.
I think I'm ready to deal with the frame rate and just watch Spider-Verse.
I'm pissed. You know what I realized the other day? Because YouTube started throwing clips from Into the Spider-Verse at me. There is no way to stream that movie on any service for free. I own the Blu-ray.
From YouTube, right?
Yeah, and I own the Blu-ray, so if I get it out and hook up my Xbox One, I could watch it that way. But I'm shocked that there's no way to stream that movie without paying for it.
It's becoming shockingly common with a lot of movies.
Yes.
Recently.
What were we talking about on Sunday? The movie that... the famous Clerks movie that you can't even...
Dogma. You literally can't stream it because Harvey Weinstein's company owns it, and it's just like not willing to negotiate with anyone.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this was coming out this year, but Part 1, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, Part 1, is coming out.
Yeah, I didn't know that was coming out here.
These last... I mean, the Mission Impossible movies have been pretty good, but these last 3 have all been pretty solid bangers, so I actually kind of am excited for this. Mission Impossible has been like, and especially with Tom Cruise coming back and doing Top Gun, you know, like Ethan Hunt's a pretty cool guy, so I'm down to watch another really solid Mission Impossible movie. Christopher Nolan's newest movie, Oppenheimer, has been getting some buzz already.
I'm hyped for this one.
I have no idea what the fuck this is going to be like, but I'm interested to see something that seems kind of biopic-esque from Nolan.
I don't know if he's done anything like this before.
Not that I can think of. The closest thing I would think of is like fucking Dunkirk. But that's obviously not. That's obviously like a much bigger thing.
I mean, the Batman trilogy is based on a true story, right?
And then the last one, supposedly there's a chance that Dune Part 2 comes out this year. Seems pretty fucking unlikely, but...
if anything, it's going to release on Christmas.
Yeah, but worth mentioning because I'm pretty hyped to see this because Dune Part 1 was surprisingly good considering the source material is so much.
Difficult to adapt.
Yes. Like
Yeah,
I
I'm
still
excited for Dune.
I still remember the scene where the Baron has Duke Atreides right before the end. Like that whole scene, the Baron floating around and everything. Oh, all the scenes with the Baron are so good. Timothy Chalamet does a really good job. Jason Momoa is really good as Duncan. Like
I
that.
still the special effects team for that movie deserved like an extra round of applause.
Oh yeah. Did they not win the? Did the Academy Awards even happen yet? No, they didn't yet, right? They're later.
Wait, when did Dune Part 1 come out?
Wasn't it last year?
What? No.
What?
Fuck.
That was 2021.
Yeah.
Didn't that win last year?
Probably. I don't remember.
Dune
I
won
think the
6
Academy
Oscars at
Awards
the
is-
Academy Awards, yeah.
Reception, accolades. Nominated for 10.
Cinematography, editing, score, visual effects, production design, and sound it won for. So visual effects and cinematography, yeah. So roughly what I'm talking about here.
Which was totally fair because it was really, really, really good.
Yeah, I think Academy Awards is a joke.
No, that's
Oh,
fine,
it's
but
hilarious.
it's a very easy way to just say, hey, some quality check, and boom, Dune did good. And with that, we also did good. We did a good podcast.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
2023's got a lot of good stuff to look forward to. This podcast not being one of them, though.
Damn, wow.
Facts.
Well, either way, whether or not it's a good thing to look forward to, we're going to end it here because, it's bedtime for us old people.
Goddamn
Unironically.
But until next time, thank you all so much for listening. Hopefully you all have a wonderful 2023. We will be there for at least some of the ride, probably.
Every other week of it.
But until next time, my name's Timpedia.
I'm Friedman.
Just Tyler, only Tyler.
And we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for listening.